Hello and welcome. My name is Donna, and today we'll be discussing how I came to understand my higher power. When it was suggested to me to find a God or higher power of my understanding, it still didn't make sense to me. I was told to pray the serenity prayer and to say, God, thy will, not mine, be done, and it was specifically said about a God of my understanding. I was confused as to what happens with the God that I had been introduced to through religion my entire life. What happens to all the things I learned in Sunday school? That I came to understand was a God that I was told about, not a God I understood. I realized that I couldn't completely be myself with the God that I was used to. So, when my spiritual advisor told me to pray the serenity prayer and to turn my will and life over to God as I understood Him every morning, I imagined praying to the ceiling. I knew that the God was there, but I just couldn't imagine it. So I just prayed to something literally above me. I forced myself to break away from the God of religion, the God I personally didn't know. In the beginning, the woman, my spiritual advisor, the very special woman I would call every morning, became my higher power because I listened and did everything that she told me to do. I kept those prayers. I kept doing them. I realized I was acting my way into right thinking. What does it mean to act your way into right thinking? What that means is because I was doing the action of praying, it inevitably made me think about what or who I was praying to. And because I kept thinking about what or who I was praying to, my higher power, I inevitably kept my mind open to figuring out what a God of my understanding was. I was really getting curious as to how this is all supposed to help me. It didn't happen all of a sudden. I was losing weight and I was refraining from negative thinking by training myself to do my prayers whenever I found negativity creep up on me. Throughout the day, a lot of times I'd feel overwhelmed, or I'd see negative thinking, or I'd be in the past, or I'd be anxious about the future. Whenever I felt, I became aware of how I was feeling, and whenever I felt negative or not happy, I knew that right there and then I say, God, thy will be done. Thy will be done. Please remove this feeling from me. I would catch myself, and that's what I would say. I have trained myself to stay in the present by becoming aware of my emotions and quickly asking myself, where am I? What am I doing? What time is it? I am here. Also, I should mention that I personally refrain from eating sugar, white flour, and drinking alcohol because those interfere with my levels of clarity and my conscious contact with God. I have not eaten sugar, white flour, or alcohol for a long time now, for over a year now, but while I was trying to find my higher power, it had only been a couple of months because my spiritual advisor told me that I need to maintain my clarity. These things cause a fog in your mind. They make you moody. They make you think weird thoughts. They make you feel bad. They take you up on a high and then you crash on them. These are things that I don't put into my body. They don't let me think straight. The higher power business was still not making sense to me, okay, after a couple months of praying and just looking for it. I kept asking my spiritual advisor what her God was like. What did she mean by a God of her understanding? She would tell me here and there, like I still didn't get it. It wasn't something that I could relate to, but I just kept being curious. I have come to understand that curiosity is a gift. The more I seek after an answer, the more it will be revealed to me. A few months into praying those two prayers and working on my inventory, she had told me, while she told me to do those prayers, I was supposed to be working on an inventory, which is the process of writing out all of the negative thoughts, situations, feelings, and emotions towards myself, the world, people, places, and things, anyone I hated, anything that embarrassed me, and to take them out, put them on a piece of paper, tell her, and give it away. This was to empty myself of the negativity, and I suggest that you find a rabbi, a priest, a therapist, someone trusted, and do the same while you're doing these prayers. Get this out of yourself. So that I will actually explain a little bit more in another video. I had lost a bunch of weight a few months into doing this and was feeling more free because of my powerlessness, admitting my powerlessness over people, places, things, and food, and understanding that I'm not in control of anything. And I let things happen and accepted the present moment as it is. So now, I saw a guy friend of mine after 5 years very randomly at 2 months into doing this, okay? I can tell you honestly that he is one of the most popular, good-looking, funny, intelligent men I have ever met. Why am I telling you this? Well, let me tell you how my God works. When we hung out, my friend and I, he told me how beautiful I was, and he told me I was funny, that I looked great, I'm so down to earth, and basically told me all the things that I didn't believe I was. I paid attention to how much he was complimenting me. I left lunch that day very confused and saw how comfortable, funny, chill, non-judgmental, and myself I was. I didn't hang out with him ever again after that. After I left lunch and felt this way, it then occurred to me what it meant to have a God of my understanding. I imagined the finest person I have ever met. Now, I thought of the power who created that beauty, and how much more fine must that power be. I thought of the smartest, kindest, wittiest, most loving people I know, and realized that my God is the one who created that. I then thought of the funniest people and realized that my God must have one heck of a sense of humor because I laugh at everything. I began to understand that my higher power is the creator of all the things that I so admire in people, and I didn't understand that until this incident, having lunch with a friend of mine. In understanding that, I was able to be myself with my God because I could remember how myself I felt around my friend. How much more comfortable and myself can I be with the God who put those qualities here on earth inside of the people that I enjoy? My higher power is the coolest person I know. He doesn't judge me. He reminds me that I am not a failure because he controls the world. I am just put here on earth to enjoy every single moment of my life, and so have you. I went around the world this summer completely by myself. I'm just going to share an experience with you. Completely by myself, and I took my God with me. I hung out with him. He made everything so much fun. I got into so many places. I met so many people. I had so much fun. My God comforts me. He makes things happen so easily and effortlessly. He answers my questions through different ways that I will explain to you in a different video. To understand God to me is different than being told who God is in religion. By understanding God, for me it means that I create the traits that my God has. This is not idolizing because I'm not creating a God. I am simply applying things that I understand and know, such as humor, such as beauty, such as the things that I love in my best friends. I apply that to God because He is the powerhouse of where those traits come from. My God does not shun me. I took the traits that I enjoyed in people one level higher and applied them to the spiritual world. My God will never tell me that I'm not good enough or that I've fallen short. My God reminds me that when I am alone, I am not alone. In my solidarity, I am with a power greater than all of humanity combined. This is my God. In finding the God or higher power of my understanding, I am able to talk to Him freely and openly about everything. The only way that I was able to do this, the only way that this happened to me is because I kept telling myself to be honest, open-minded, and willing to understand the spiritual principles that I have shared with you this far. Because I admitted that I am powerless over people, places, things, and food. I believe that there is a power greater than myself who can fix my life and my outlook. I made the decision, because of knowing that, I made the decision to turn my will in life, my desires, my intentions over to that God, to my God of my understanding, because He knows what is for my highest good. I will explain to you highest good in another video. You will find your higher power, you just have to want it. I know that unless I invite and allow whatever power is running the universe to reveal itself to me, it won't barge in and force. My God is not forceful, I have to invite Him. I found that when I say out loud that I open my heart and mind to you, God, whoever and whatever you are, the rest became revealed to me. Don't judge yourself and don't judge your surroundings. Do those prayers and take the understanding as it comes to you. Don't worry about what kind of sect, denomination, or other religious affiliation that you have and what their take is on the subject. You can still remain exactly what you are. You just have to come to understand that you just have to come to understand your higher power in a way that makes sense to you. With this understanding, you will come to learn who you are and who God created you to be. You will see your true self one way or another. The beauty of video is that if you didn't catch something I said the first time or something the first time, you can rewind this and hear it again. Maybe it'll resonate a little different. Or you need a reminder. I know for me, I need to be reminded, so I am constantly rereading and writing things that I already know because it makes me stay in the present, and that's what works for me. You can always let me know if you have any questions about what I shared. Again, please don't feel the need to like or comment. This is not about me. This is not for me. This is so that you may gain something from what I've experienced and what I've come to understand. And with that said, I hope to see you again soon.